What up, y'all? So, today, look, at the end of the day, I suffer from procrastination, perfectionism, just all of that dumb stuff. But I still work. It's the procrastination part is really just coming out to the people. Mainly because I have so many things on the back end that keeps me busy. The entrepreneurial, launching business, education, dealing with people side, just always, I just always just say, all right, cool. Let me just, but right now, guess what? I don't have that option anymore. Responsibilities come up. And not responsibilities just in family and so forth like that, but responsibilities in knowledge. Look, at the end of the day, once you know something, your goal is to pass it on, pass the knowledge on. And I've been in a space of tech and blockchain now since, well, I got into Bitcoin in 2012. So around there. But really, since 2017, I've really been immersed just in the highest levels of blockchain development, tech ownership, unicorns. I was surrounded by unicorns for the better part of 6 years, 7 years, and learned a lot. Launched a few companies myself, DeFi companies that we've been running now, that part since about, 4.5 years now. But AI company we've had since 2014. So, and look, at the end of the day, I hang out with, and I say hang out, I work and exchange brain capacity with many people who are highly, highly successful and achieved many things. And I was just like a sponge. I didn't really see where I fit in the time, but one thing I asked was that I never get asked to leave a room. And with that, I started to just acquire and accumulate a lot of knowledge, a lot of relationships, a lot of trust, and it helped incite my vision. And the wildest thing about it all, the funniest thing with people, and when they don't think you are a threat, they're so giving. They're so giving. When they think you're a threat, they shut down. That was one of the biggest things I really took away from my time, because I got a lot of good game, a lot of good information, and saw a lot of things, and gained a lot of trust because I know how to move. But my biggest, or my roadmap, was simply, once I figure out what makes sense, I'm gonna bring it to Jamaica, and that was the impetus of my thesis in general, where I was like, okay, I'm just going to mint the culture. Taking a play on and a take on um, NFT minting, blockchain minting, and I wanted to make all of Jamaican culture into an NFT. So if anybody decided to use it, we as Jamaican could get paid, because Jamaican culture is so just rampant all over the world, and people fall in love with it. But it's like many other things. Um, it becomes like what AI is going to become free. It's going to become a utility, ubiquitous. Everybody got dreads. Everybody knows the colors of Rasta. You know what I mean? And assume it's Jamaica, and that's not the thing. Jamaica's different, and most people don't know that. But I just heard today that the owner of Lacoste the founder and the name Lacoste Sportif, was Jamaican and French, Jamaican mother and French father. So there's just so many Jamaicans out there, and I am very proud to be a Jamaican, even though sometimes I go back, you make me feel like I'm a Jamaican. But I want to use this shift in the world, the shift in this work environment, in what's happening over these next 5 to 10 years with AI, and step in and use the time to wave the flag and sound the alarm that we need to learn this. If you haven't, if you haven't thought that you should be in the tech and now you are, thank you. But if you thought that you could never be in the tech and now you still aren't, well, guess what? Let's have a conversation. So I have a school called Major AI Mindset. It's a free school community, so it's free to join. I am looking in general to shout out to all the Caribbean diaspora. All right, whether you're in the UK, whether you're in Canada, whether you're in the US, I would love for you to join my school. And definitely, if you are in the Caribbean, any one of the islands, any one of them. Hopefully it's a CARICOM island, and I'll even include Puerto Rico in it because I used to live in Puerto Rico and it's the United States, right? But ultimately, this focuses on the mindset because you have to figure that you can before you really do. And you have to find parallels. You have to find things that make sense. You have to find things that connect. And no better person to do it than somebody that comes from the block, somebody that is, of your background and could possibly make things sound a little simpler. Now, I have a 13-week course. Now, the first weeks of it are free. The backside of it, you have to pay to get to the rest. But nonetheless, by those first iterations of those first weeks, you'll learn quite a few things. You'll learn what is ChatGPT. You'll learn how to use a Trello board. You'll learn what is, Airtable. I can riddle a lot off, but I just don't want to, because one, all right, you'll learn ChatGPT, so you'll learn how to plan, you'll learn how to do ideation, you'll learn how to find market analysis, you learn how to do competitive analysis, you learn how to use tons of tools, what they are for, what is the difference between automation versus AI, why do I need automation versus AI, should I put together a prompt, what are the essential parts of a prompt? And just really getting together and a chance to really feel comfortable and figuring out the process. Because first of all, you have to learn how to break a process down before you can even include any of this AI stuff. And nowadays, we got so many different tools out there that makes things so much simpler and easy. And look, at the end of the day, I'll say it now. I have affiliate links for tons of different platforms and tools because I have tested over 400 different AI tools for you. Okay? So being that I had to sign up with a lot of them and all of this type of stuff, so I'll be going through all of them in little 1 minute to 3 minute kind of tutorials that we'll put on reels and stuff like that, so you can get excited about it. And guess what? I also have an agency, and it's not an agency in the old sense. It's a solutions agency, and it's more for specific businesses and so. However, I do have one mob that will be accessible to those of you who get through the 13 weeks and do choose to build their own company and are looking for AI mobs to support. But that's still probably a little bit further down the road. What I'm trying to say is that I come from entrepreneurship. I've, gosh, I've tried. Okay, in my blockchain entrepreneurship days, I've advised and been involved in over 30 different blockchain projects. Okay, and over half of them are still alive and kicking. So, pretty excited about that. That's what happens when you're an early adopter. Now, as far as my entrepreneurship ride, I've been an entrepreneur since I exited my first business as a financial advisor and stockbroker back in 2000. And ever since then, I've worked for myself. Multiple businesses that, and we'll talk about that. I've done it all, and they haven't all been Amway or Beachbody. Even though I was very successful with Beachbody. Either which way, listen, y'all. Join my school community. Figure out if you really feel that you have something to offer. Because if you have a point of view, you have something to offer. But just try some of these tools. None of these things are going to cost you anything. It's free. It's time on your hands. We'll meet weekly. We'll talk about some stuff. I'll be hitting you with a whole bunch of YouTube stuff, and we'll launch the course, so you'll get free access to course, so that way you can at least get some wins in all of this. All right? And let's see, what else? Now, this is just me freestyling for y'all, just so I can have good conversation, because now I'll probably there'll be a link to the school community so you can join, and we'll really be up and going March 1st, so all of this stuff is just leading up into it, because like I started off in saying, procrastinated, but just fine-tuning. But don't be surprised if you see me a little bit more before then, because I talk a lot of shit. I talk a lot. I mean, if there's just a camera running, I'm good, but it's about me starting the camera on myself, and that for me has always felt like whack. I come from a different time and a different era, so that's why it's so weird that I'm even in this space feeling that I can contribute. But the one thing that you guys are going to get from me is authenticity and the real deal what's going on. It may not be like all those other YouTube channels that you see out there. This is really some big homie stuff. Like right now, we got a thing going on called vibe coding. Finally, something for people like me, people like us, people that vibe. All right? Because if you're coding and you're not listening to some like 90s R&B or like something like that, and just singing some Jodeci while you rocking on, or like some Beanie Man or something like that, and you're getting that. Yesterday I was listening to, I had Shabba Matapat Pun like loop, and I was just vibing, man. I mean, listen, the thing is this, what I try to explain to most of y'all, which is why I like to talk to you young men, is that y'all need to heal on the inside first, right? Before you start to put your intentions into the code. That's why vibing is finally like my type of coding, because all I have to do is really get familiar with my agent, with my AI. Once they get me and feel me, then they'll get and vibe, and we'll build beautiful things, which this is what this whole year is about. Getting you guys interested in this space, connecting you with some of my partners out there who have, supportive platforms and who are great educators, but you need, someone who can kind of bridge that gap, who can really be the big homie. And, show y'all that this is a dope life. Running a friggin' company in where I'm at, Thailand right now. You know, like, look, at the end of the day, this is the real of it, my friends. Whoever controls this technology wins. Okay? We have the benefit right now that the big boys are fighting over the bigger parts of this infrastructure. Meanwhile, there's us down here who are also benefiting from all of the things that they're doing because thank you, Mark, for making sure that it was competitive enough and allowing and forcing, I say forcing, but showing making a lot of these guys show their hands and putting them more focused on open source, because once you open source things, it just innovates everything. None of this could happen if it wasn't open source, if it wasn't for the open source community. So with that being said, you at home right now that are listening to this, you, the hustler's mindset, has to think about all of this stuff as the time to jump in. And I'm the guy to help you with it. Okay, cool. So click the link, tap the link, join the link, do all the things to the link, and get on the other side. And I'll see you on the other side at the Major AI Mindset School. Come get your mind right.